Marner to Vegas, trade rumors heating up. That's coming your way next right here on this edition of Locked On Golden Knights.
Your Locked On Golden Knights, your daily podcast on the Vegas Golden Knights, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Hi, everyone. Tony Cardasco, Chris Golick from Las Vegas. Thanks for making us your first listen each and every day. You can find us wherever you get your podcast. And please make sure to subscribe to our Locked On Golden Knights YouTube channel. We are brought to you today by Gametime. Download the Gametime app and use the promo code LOCKEDONNHL for $20 off of your first purchase. I just remember, Chris, that you took a lot of heat a month ago following a Bleacher Report story about the possible movement of Mitch Marner from Toronto, the Maple Leafs scapegoat, if you will. Marner, with a season remaining on his contract at about $11 million, top six scorer. You were all about the potential of a trade to Las Vegas. And now Elliot Friedman of Sportsnet, et cetera, citing yesterday some sources. I said et cetera. Yeah.
It's good. I like that.
Okay. It works everywhere. So VGK could be getting serious now about some trade talks with Mitch Marner. And it appears as though the two players that they are looking at or honing in at are Shea Theodore and Logan Thompson.
So May 12th, I had to go look it up for Inside the Rink. The article was titled possibly a trade that no one sees coming or something like that. Could McCrimmon be cooking up something that nobody sees coming? And at the end of the article, it was Logan Thompson possibly being on the move. $766,000 cap hit, friendly to the Golden Knights, friendly to any possible team he goes to. Very serviceable goaltender. Very likely or unlikely, we should say, that he will not be a Golden Knight past the 24-25 season. There's just too much going on right now, and I feel the Golden Knights are not ready to commit to him. If anyone wants to question that, look back at his last season. 0 consecutive starts in the regular season with a healthy Adin Hill. Playoffs that changed because, well, Adin Hill was terrible down the stretch. The Golden Knights had no choice, and they still pulled Logan Thompson out of the mix when the games mattered the most. So that tells you a lot about where the Golden Knights value Logan Thompson. Toronto's obviously had numerous goaltending issues for the 2000s. So Logan Thompson could give him a bit of stability in that position and an opportunity to grow even farther. It makes sense. I know people are concerned about Marner and losing Shea Theodore. I don't know. I'm not concerned, honestly, about that, but maybe others certainly are. But I'm in. If McCrimmon says go, let's go.
100-point scorer, as we mentioned previously when we did our show. One of the things to be concerned about is Marner has a no-move clause, but a lot of players do indeed want to come to Las Vegas. So I said Theodore would be involved in this trade. That's who I specifically said. I said Theodore and a first-round pick for sure at the minimum. And then when you break it down, I believe that Friedman, et cetera, had said yesterday that Theodore and LT, they're both in contract seasons coming up, and they total about $6 million in salary money. So VGK would have to clear more space. No?
Nope. Oh, VGK has right now with that extra $300,000.
See, that comes into play, bro.
$6.2 million right now. It's 6.19. It's Vegas right now today can use $6.2 million. Shea Theodore, I believe, is what, 5.2 and change or something like that. So that's 11.4. Mitch Marner is actually 10.9 and change cap hit.
That's
so
called 11.
The money is there, but I do think there would be another corresponding move because outside of Jonathan Marchessault's situation and Chandler Stevenson, unlikely, you got some RFAs. You got Dorofeev, Caden Korczak, and Yuri Patera, who do need contracts right now. So there'd probably be an additional move in the event VGK goes all in for a very shiny new toy. But it it boggles me, Tony. Like all the people just flipping out on Twitter right now about Mitch Marner. And they're saying if he wasn't with Austin Matthews, he wouldn't be scoring all these points. Okay, fine, whatever. But Marner is averaging 94 points per season or 96, whatever the number is, for the last 3 seasons in the best league in the world. You don't do that by accident. Does having Austin Matthews on your line help? Of course. Does Zach Hyman's 50 goals largely in part, is that helped by McDavid on his line? Absolutely it is. But you still got to do it. And if Mitch Marner were to come to Vegas and be on that top line with Eichel and be, I don't know, an 80-point scorer, what does that tell you? What would Eichel's goal total be if Mitch Marner was on his line and Mitch Marner put up an 80-point season, probably in the neighborhood of 55 assists? Eichel becomes a 40-goal scorer.
Mm-hmm.
Whoever is
and finally gets to 90 or 100.
Someone else? Oh, Lordy.
Yeah. Cardasco's helped by Golick. You forgot that combination there. 27 years old is Mitch Marner. I think VGK is going to have to battle some teams. We spoke about one team yesterday, Nashville. They have $26 million in cap space currently, and I think they're going to be aggressive in the market. What are your thoughts, Mr. Coffee Face?
I appreciate the extra second there. I mean, listen, Barry Trotz, the GM of the Year finalist, right? Or pretty close. He might have been up there. Either way, point being is Barry Trotz is cleaning house, doing a great job rebuilding the Predators. Probably a year or two away from maybe really making a cup potential team, but they're close. I don't know if it's as much battling Nashville. I mean, no disrespect, but Vegas, Nashville. What market would you rather play in? And I don't know what the tax implications are of Nashville versus Vegas. I have to assume Vegas is better. Again, no disrespect to Nashville, but, well, Vegas is Vegas. And as far as the other teams in the mix, I mean, I don't know. I mean, this is where Marner controlling his destiny to some degree could also help teams looking to trade for him and maybe even hurt the Maple Leafs a little bit. If the Maple Leafs have decided, hey, it's time to move on from Marner, and Marner holds the cards as far as where he's going to go, they may not get the return, the Maple Leafs. Maybe it won't have to be a first-round pick. Maybe it is just a package of Theodore and Logan Thompson. I don't know. I mean, that seems a little bit light, but that also gives Toronto some much-needed – you think Vegas has salary cap issues that don't exist. Well, the Toronto Maple Leafs salary cap issues really don't exist. They really do exist. So a $4 or $5 million relief while getting a stout defenseman and a goaltender with upside could be exactly what they need. And, everyone here just dogging on Mitch Marner and stuff like that. I'll say this again. Everyone, when Jack Eichel, people were concerned when Vegas traded for Eichel. Everyone's downplaying that now because of Eichel's been a remarkable citizen in this community, which we'll talk about in our second segment, of course. But everyone was concerned with Eichel coming to Vegas and his locker room issues and all these, stories we hear out of Buffalo and such. If McCrimmon is targeting Mitch Marner, it's because there's a locker room around Mitch Marner with leadership, with Stanley Cup winners, with former captains, current captain.
With BLTs,
exactly. But if McCrimmon thinks Marner can succeed in Vegas, Marner will succeed in Vegas. And let's face it, if Marchessault's out of the picture, can Vegas become a cup tender with 2 or 3 Dakota Joshuas? Or does one Mitch Marner put them in a better place? I think Mitch Marner is the answer.
See, I think Nashville could contend next year because I think that Barry Trotz is more of an Eagles fan, that he would like to see himself personally at the Sphere than you two.
Eagles coming to the Sphere. Tony has leaked that one? Or is that known?
That's semi-known.
Okay.
Would VGK have to also throw in a first rounder? That's the question here too. And would they go for it with Theodore, LT, and a first rounder?
I'm going to back up. I'm going to add one more layer here. Do the Maple Leafs look for a prospect like a Brendan Brisson instead?
A lot of these players want to get out of Henderson so they have a chance to play somewhere else. You'd have to believe that.
It's fair, and I mean,
they love Vegas, but how are they going to get an opportunity?
Well, and that's actually
keeps going for these veterans.
Put this on the parking lot.
Okay.
Put that on the napkin. I like that as a topic in general.
What
I
would
really
the
like
actual
that.
topic be? Something about the
Players,
Eagles and his
Henderson
beer?
players having a hard time getting opportunities
Okay.
to
We
play
can
for
do
the
that.
big club, but it's fair. It's a very fair argument, and you got the prospect pool. I'm not going to cross the streams here, but you got the prospect pool of Brisson, Cormier, Korzak, which I don't know if I view Korzak as a prospect as much as an NHL ready commodity. But I mean, the Golden Knights, would they rather hold on to their first round pick? I don't care about that. The draft is at the Sphere. People thinking that Vegas is going to hold on to that first round pick, even because McCrimmon said that, you're out of your
They
mind
don't care
if you think the upcoming first round pick is not in play.
about the draft. Okay. I did not do one iota of research about the draft. I don't care.
I did one iota. That was
You
it.
did, right. You did our pick there. You were
He's the
our
next
general
Gretzky, by the
manager.
way. Next
But
Gretzky.
the next Gretzky is who you're picking. He'll
What was
be
his name, by the way?
I don't know. He's going to start in Lake Tahoe and might not ever leave Lake Tahoe. So
It's
that's
nice.
about it.
It's nice up there this time of year.
So for me, it's like they don't do much with the prospects, period. So why should I even care about who VGK is going to pick when they're just going to just get lost here in the minor leagues?
You sound like
Okay.
you sound like the people that don't go to Henderson Silver Night games, and there's a lot.
Are we reading too much into Jonathan Marchessault being a healthy scratch in this year's Battle for Vegas celebrity softball game? I know where I'm going there. We'll return with that
You
topic
shouldn't do it in a
next.
Southern accent, Tony.
That was awful. I'll never do that again. I got panned. We'll be back with more right after this on Locked On Golden Knights. Gametime makes getting NBA Finals tickets and tickets to the Stanley Cup Final a lot faster and easier. Prices on the Gametime app, they actually go up closer that it gets to tip off or face off. They've got killer last minute deals. They have all in prices, views from your seat, and their lowest price guarantee. Gametime will take the guesswork out of buying NBA tickets. And of course, Chris and I personally would like to be in Edmonton for game number 3 tonight of the SCF. The last minute tickets, the flash deals, the zone deals. It's a lot easy to navigate, and you can buy as well Major League Baseball tickets. That's been a big push, and for every event that you can possibly imagine. There's priority last minute deals. Save up to 60% off when buying last minute sports, concerts, theater tickets, etc. Save even more with exclusive in-app deals on select seats ahead of the game or the event. You get with your seat views. That's really cool. You will get a panoramic view of what your seat looks like on the app before you buy. If you're looking at those seats that are up in the hinterland in Utah, you will see that there is no view of the ice. Of course, today, take the guesswork out of buying tickets. Go to Gametime. And they also have a big push, as we mentioned, on NBA Finals tickets. Well, don't wait too long because it's probably just one more game remaining there. Download the Gametime app today, create an account, use promo code LOCKDOWNNHL, and you will get $20 off your first purchase. Terms do apply. Again, create an account and use the redeem code LOCKDOWNNHL for $20 off your first purchase. Download Gametime today. Last minute tickets, lowest price guaranteed. Back on this edition of Locked On Golden Knights, Tony Cardasco and Chris Golick from Las Vegas. Thanks for making us your first listen each and every day. And you could find us wherever you get your podcast. And please make sure tomorrow's WTF already just zips by. WTF, leave your comments for us for tomorrow's show, of course, on X or on YouTube. Saturday mornings, it's the Chris and Chris Jr. show, now replacing all of those cartoons. Okay, so the annual Battle for Vegas charity softball game, it's happening again this year, 5th year in a row, I believe. Las Vegas Ballpark, Saturday, July the 13th. VGK yesterday announcing its lineup, and there was no Jonathan Marchessault. No Jonathan Marchessault on the roster. So Jack Eichel a lifetime 728 hitter, and 1-for-1 in cartwheels, is going to be the captain of this team now. Now that Riley Smith has departed, no Marchessault. You got Keegan Colasar, you've got Nick Hague, Zach Whitecloud, Mitch Marner, Logan Thompson. I threw Marner in there. I wanted to see if you were awake. Alec Martinez, the all-time hit by pitch leader, will also be in the lineup, but no Marchessault, no Jonathan Marchessault.
I don't know if you mentioned Revo or not, but Ryan Reeves obviously is a longtime staple of this event. He'll be there, and he'll be out there drinking his 7.5 in left field usually, and just hopefully he doesn't dive
Wind up in a boot.
Yeah, what's that?
Wind up in a boot again, like he did a couple.
Yeah,
of years
hopefully he
ago.
doesn't wind up in a walking boot after the game and fracturing part of his ankle. That would be unfortunate.
You said nothing about the hit by pitch leader, Alec Martinez.
Was that's what started the brawl, or was that Marishawn Lynch and something?
No, because he blocked so many shots. Wake up, dude.
Oh, geez.
He blocked so many shots. He gets hit. Go ahead.
Yeah,
pick
fine,
it up from there.
Whatever you say.
We're going to have to play Stars and Stripes Forever in a moment here to save us.
It's
when the tragedy hits.
It's a fun event. I went to the last 2 years ago. I was just in the stands, and then last season I covered on the media credential side and everything, and just a lot of fun being down there. The players let their guard down a lot and just interact. I mean, it might have something to do with the booze that they're drinking. Although Keegan Colasar was drinking friggin' Heineken last year. I was giving him crap about that. Who drinks Heineken in the middle of July while playing softball? That's just a heavy, nasty, disgusting beer. In that circumstance, it's an excuse. But yeah, just a fun event. If you get there early enough, you get a spot on the left or right field, front row. You get autographs, get pictures with the players and stuff, and it's just fun. They raise a lot of money for local charities. Eichel, of course, is going to take over now. Riley Smith did a wonderful job starting this off, and hopefully Riley Smith might come back for it. That would be really nice. Maybe it'll be a Vegas Golden Knight by then. That's even a long shot rumor that we're hearing right now. Riley Smith last year got a very touching tribute, obviously, because the trade to Pittsburgh had been official already, so everyone knew it was coming. And, while the night was a celebration for the community and the money raised and everything, it was really a send-off for Riley Smith. He was out there on the field with his family and stuff and just taking it all in and everything, and it was really nice. And it's going to be nice to see Jack Eichel growing into this new role as just an amazing citizen of Southern Nevada and Las Vegas and the work that he does. I mean, who saw this coming from Jack Eichel? The answer is nobody. I don't care who you are. No one thought Eichel was ever going to blossom to this, but Vegas is lucky to have Jack Eichel.
So it was Eichel when he made his first appearance here in the city, when he showed up at the softball game, crossed home plate, doing the cartwheel. But at this point, you could tell he was making a huge effort to fit in with this team and just to hang out with the fellas. Pretty much, right? I mean, that's when I saw a different side of Eichel for the very first time.
So Eichel's tough in an interview. It's tough to really kind of get him going or make him smile. And it's not that he's a bad person. He's just all about business when the cameras are on him. And it was not this past season, but the season before, the Stanley Cup season. Eichel scored a big goal against the Penguins, and he just celebrated like a lunatic. It was great. So I got him in the crosshairs in the post-game scrum. I asked him, I said, hey, well, first I set him up. I'm like, hey, you seem to have a lot of passion after you scored that goal. What did you feel? And he gave the company line. He likes scoring goals, fine, whatever. And then I said, hey, you ever going to bust out your softball celebration? It's like, softball celebration? What's that? And I think Eichel thought I was going to teach him about this new celebration he could try. And I said, no, remember the softball game, the cartwheel? And that got a big smile. A couple of the other media guys around me are like, hey, who's this jerk asking this question? But no, Eichel, big smile, fun to talk to. And yeah, depending on how many Heinekens or 7.5s or whatever the heck they decide to drink for the day, you'll definitely see a fun side of Eichel and many of the other players as well.
Other than Marner, what other surprises might we see? I remember like Cody Eakin came out and played. A lot of the alums. Maybe we bring back Max Pacioretty to play in this game.
Pacioretty, I don't think
he'd get booed. He'd get booed.
No, I mean, and that's the thing you don't know. But what I do know is there are so many people, even though despite this being the evil empire and such, there are so many people that do call
medieval empire,
medieval empire, golden image. Got it. but there are so many people that just enjoy coming to Vegas and such. I mean, how hard is it to talk a Vegas alum? Hey, why don't you come to Vegas? Hang out. We're gonna play softball and drink and be in front of a bunch of fans. Okay, it's.
Oh,
I mean,
man.
it's not a hard sell. It's not a hard sell. I'm curious. Is this going to be against the Raiders alum, quote unquote? I mean, that hasn't been that
We
side.
haven't
hasn't
seen,
been announced.
that side, like with Marcus Allen and all those guys.
Yeah, and I guess this is probably where we'll start the chatter. Everyone, like last year, Vegas Golden Knight fans were just so upset with the Raiders because they wouldn't tweet about the game and tweeted congratulations to the Golden Knights and all that. Like, yeah, we'll start that chatter any second right now.
Okay. Are you part of the Edmonton press now? What is going on? You want to start getting on people?
It's a must win.
It is
I'm
a must win.
fanboying as far as the Edmonton press right now. David Staples, oh Lord. We'll talk about that in the third.
Okay, we will talk about that in the third. I wish that that locker room place across the street, year 2, was it? They just gave me the keys to the venue and said, can you throw the after party? And that was an absolute rager. And it was just me and then fangirls of the pilots that did the flyover and the pilots themselves. So I kept saying last call, and they just did not want to leave. But we had a good time. But all the Raiders players showed up and all of the VGK players. But it is a great time. That's what we're getting at. And again, that's coming up Saturday, July the 13th at the Las Vegas ballpark. Coming up next, Stanley Cup Final, game number 3 in Edmonton tonight. The Oilers are trying to battle back. They dug themselves a hole here in the series, down 0-2. Our preview comes your way next, right after this, on Locked On Golden Knights. Hey, Locked On Golden Knights fans, we want to take a moment to bring up one of our partners, and this is the mobile game Ultimate Hockey GM. That's Ultimate Hockey GM. Have you ever dreamed of becoming an NHL general manager and managing your hockey franchise? Do you think that you could run VGK, for instance, better than the current general manager, Kelly McCrimmon? Well, your dream can come true. And this game is most definitely for you. Manage every strategic aspect of the team, play through the season, and everything can lead to the glory. Hire the right coaches and staff, trade players, trade for Mitch Marner. Again, trade your draft picks like they always do. Navigate through free agency and the draft, all in a challenging and realistic game and gaming world. As a Golden Knights fan, hey, there is no off season, and GMs are constantly making moves at every point of the year to improve their team's chances. And that's why we think you're going to absolutely love this game. It is really cool. Ultimate Hockey GM, completely free, and it is playable offline as well. Play on the go, play as you want, and when you want to. And by the way, Locked On Network listeners get 100% free boost to their franchise when they use the promo code Locked On NHL. That's 100% free boost, Locked On NHL in the game store. So make sure that you check it out. To download the game today, just visit hockeygm.app, or look it up in the app stores. Ultimate Hockey GM. Start your dynasty today. Welcome back on this edition of Locked On Golden Knights. Tony Cardasco, Chris Golick reporting from Las Vegas. We appreciate you making us your first listen every day. Thank you so much. And of course, tomorrow, leave your WTF comments. On Saturday, it is the Chris and Chris Jr. show coming up, and that is the YouTube exclusive. Your microphone's off, bro. I just wanted to let you know.
I was whispering that it was already Friday. I wasn't talking too loud anyway, but it's all good.
Okay. What'd you say? Sunny side up?
Already Friday. It's already Friday. That's all.
Oh, okay. No, I thought you were telling the fam to make you your eggs today, and you wanted them sunny side up because it's Thursday. Something
scrambled.
Okay,
scrambled eggs.
Scrambled eggs.
Scrambled well done, hard, like a little bit of brown.
Okay, SCF game number 3 tonight. Some injury updates. First, Florida. Alexander Barkov was back on the ice yesterday.
He's in. A miracle
after that game 2 hit by Draisaitl. Chris Knobloch said Corey Perry likely to be back in the lineup. And Darnell Nurse, he said he's not worried. he didn't say he's not worried that he'll be back on the ice. He just said he's not worried because he's minus 15 and going for the all-time record there.
Sounds like he's improved. He was minus 16 when the series started.
Remember yesterday I was talking, or 2 days ago after the game. No, it was yesterday's show because we were recapping the game, talking about the travel schedule. And like, would you much rather have left right after the game?
Or it was
Would
late.
you much rather have left the following day? No. I don't like Florida's travel schedule at all. The Panthers practiced yesterday at home, and then they flew to Edmonton a day after I thought that they should have traveled. And then did they have enough time to get acclimated? On top of everything else, to make matters even worse, they had a 3-hour flight delay. And people are going to say that's a non-factor. B stinking S. It's a factor. It's a factor.
There's a reason the NHL draws the extra travel day in at this stage.
They should have just left on that day after they played.
It's not like there's a shortage of ice in Edmonton to practice on.
Some people call him Maurice, said that he speaks of the pompous of love. And in addition to that, Maurice says it's not a big factor. And we didn't want to leave early in the day a couple of days ago. So that's why they left yesterday. In any event, and now get this, Mr. Golick, is the first time since March the 12th that the Florida Panthers have even left the Eastern time zone.
Rigged.
I'm going to take Edmonton tonight.
Rigged.
It's so rigged.
I mean, all the metrics are pointing at Edmonton as far as teams up 2-0, and then the home team getting that swing game and stuff. So, I mean, I'll pull up the odds in a second. I'm curious what the line is, but a couple things I find interesting: the media right now and their play on the series from both sides, just campaigning for injuries and suspensions, and the Barkov situation, the team tweeting.
Oh, it's like the VGK media all over again.
Yeah.
By this time, they were making their reservations to get on the bus there with the team.
David Staples, who obviously has become a friend of the program because he liked all my takes on Jay Woodcroft a while back, but was uncomfortable saying himself, which I get it. That's fine, whatever. But here's his article. Edmonton Oilers ace Connor McDavid hacked. Once every 5 seconds, he controls the puck.
Yes, every time he touches it.
All hail NHL's state-of-the-art defensive play of the Florida Panthers. That's number one. And now he's got something new out that just came. The Oilers have got to embrace their inner rats.
I like that. That's a great headline.
Fun. It's fun, and Staples is a really good guy. Like, I'm not knocking him. Like, let's make sure we're clear about this.
Because you are an Edmonton fan, right?
I'm a McDavid fan, and I actually think Edmonton's doing well. I think Edmonton's made a lot of great changes, starting by firing Woodcroft, who was useless. So good job there. And Knobloch definitely. Yeah. No, and Knobloch definitely, which makes Tony salty every time I say his name too. So it's a win-win. But yeah, it's fun watching this play out through the media right now. Everyone flipping out and going to the millisecond of these frames, starting with the Florida Panthers puck that went over the glass on the blue line, which clearly the interpretation of the rule that was not a delay game. People are saying Draisaitl left his feet when he elbowed Barkov. No, he didn't. He exploded into him, left his feet after the hit with momentum. Slow the hit down, watch it a couple times, and then watch it again. Maybe watch it in reverse if you need to. But it's a lot of fun, and I'll say it again. NHL is not going to get involved in this series unless it is beyond egregious. We're talking a baseball-type swing with the stick to the head. We're talking a crazy check from behind that results in injury. Otherwise, the NHL is going to let these guys work it out. So enjoy the brutality. That's what it is. Enjoy the brutality because it's going to be a brutal 2, 3, 4, or 5 remaining games. And I think tonight Florida goes, I mean, they're going to try and win, of course, but this might be about winning the war or losing the battle, winning the war, that type of thing for Florida tonight. They're going to be out for blood. They're going to be out there hitting everything that moves. Edmonton could capitalize, but Edmonton might come out of game through with some bumps and bruises, making the rest of the series very difficult.
Yeah, and Edmonton better come out with some juice tonight. It would really suck if we had like 2 sweeps in the NHL and NBA. That would be awful. Matthias
Yeah, that
Ekholm,
would suck.
Matthias Ekholm, the defenseman, they don't have any forward scoring. And the power play, I mean, Ekholm scored the goal the other night. That's it. And then the power play unit, 0
They
for
would need to
7.
shoot the puck.
They need to shoot. Yeah. 0 for 7 power play, but it was tied at 1-1, and Edmonton had 3 posts. And so sooner or later, the pucks are going to fall. They're going to go in. I think they'll cross the goal line.
Edmonton minus 135, series price, Florida minus 474, Edmonton plus 375.
I like Edmonton.
Edmonton tonight's great. And I mean,
Well,
I don't know.
If they sweep at home, right, and you're Florida, now Florida's going to be, we don't want to go back up there. We don't want
of course not.
9-hour
That's
flight
the thing.
again.
I mean,
Yeah,
this series is far from over. Florida is the likely champion, sure.
take the plus
Is it
money.
a 4-1 long shot that Edmonton gets back into the series? I think it's
I think
it's a little disrespectful.
Yeah, that's a little high, I think. Edmonton, they switched up the third line. Connor, who scored the goal in game 1, not Connor Brown. And then it came after the whistle, which really sucked. Connor Brown's on that third line, and Reek's on that third line. Matthias Janmark, the VGK alum, maybe he'll come back for the softball game. Maybe they like him now. So they made some changes there. How about this? Edmonton has limited Florida to 17 grade A chances through 2 games. So they think that that's sort of a win for them because Florida's been in front of the net on an awful lot and in 2 games, but they still need to limit that even more.
Edmonton's got to score on the power play. That's their kryptonite. That's their kryptonite, Tony.
Will this be like their previous series where they started to heat up, started to figure things out on the power play unit? Dallas, they couldn't. They scored every time they had a power play.
Last change should hopefully help. We taught this. We're kind of regurgitating a couple days ago a little bit, but that last change is definitely going to benefit Knobloch and the Oilers. Power play doesn't matter as much, but definitely in the 5-on-5 play, face-offs, stuff like that. So you're going to see a much better Edmonton tonight. The crowd, I think the crowd is going to be spectacular. And the Panthers, their goal is to get a goal in the first 5 minutes of the game. You eliminate that Oilers fan base, all of a sudden now you have nervous energy in the arena. If that game stays tied or if Edmonton can get an early lead, even if Edmonton gets the first lead of the game at any time in the game, that will just send the fans into a frenzy that I don't know if we've seen a pop like that in a while, as far as just the excitement from a crowd after someone scores a goal.
We'll see a lot more flashing perhaps tonight if that happens. If Edmonton,
I watched that whole interview. That was so bad.
That's cringe.
I'm okay with cringe. I can handle cringe. I'll be clear about this, but that was
really cringy.
That was uncomfortable cringe.
Yeah, for sure. Of course, tomorrow we'll have a recap of tonight's Stanley Cup game. The topic of the day, more Marner news, perhaps. Maybe we'll talk about his batting average in softball and things like that. And then, of course, WTF Day tomorrow. So please make sure that you stay with us. And then on Saturday, it is the Chris and Chris Jr. Show, the YouTube exclusive. For my man, Chris Golick, I'm Tony Cardasco from Las Vegas. We appreciate everyone tuning in, especially our everydayers. And we'll see you tomorrow right here on Locked On Golden Knights. And please take care.
Please take care. Please.